Welcome to Who Knew with Bruce Lubin from quickanddirtytips.com. I'm Jennifer Boudneau, the editor of the Who Knew books. It's fall, and that means back to school time. And I'm going to tell you why I find that phrase vaguely annoying. Doesn't it sound like an ad to you? But more importantly, Bruce is going to give me some tips for parents on how to survive, some clever dorm hacks, and also some road trip tips before he sets off to North Carolina to take his son to school. And of course, we'll have a life hack lightning round where we try to name as many tips as possible about a surprise object. But first, I want to talk to you about Labor Day, the last 3-day weekend of summer. Your last chance to knock out some home improvement projects. Don't leave your deteriorating blinds hanging for another second. SelectBlinds.com is having their Labor Day sale with up to 35% off blinds, shades, and shutters. SelectBlinds.com is the simple, easy way to upgrade your old blinds. Save up to 35% on everything during the Select Blinds Labor Day sale at SelectBlinds.com. Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Jen.
Have you gotten your Select Blinds yet?
I did. Actually,
they're kind of great, right?
Great, and the discount was amazing.
They're good. They're good,
Yeah.
And they let you try everything out beforehand, which is what I love about them.
Yep.
I have to say that I kind of hate the term back to school. I feel like it's an ad. It's like when I'm editing the Who Knew stuff, there's always words I kind of try to stay away from, like spooktacular around Halloween. Spooktacular is not a word.
Back to school is something that occurs. Like, I find staycation to be offensive.
Staycation.
That's a thing. I don't mind that.
But it's a thing. I feel like every time I say back to school, I feel like I'm about to like make an ad for school supplies or something, and all we really want to do is tell people how to go sane. But I think that you actually hate back to school for real. I'm not a parent, so I just kind of have these editorial objections.
I'm conflicted because the kids drive you crazy all over during the summer, but then you send them back to school and then you're sad that they're gone. It's like, really?
I know. You and Jeannie are so cute like that
God.
you actually, I can kind of see your kids growing older in front of your eyes, and every year. Yeah, I know. Now that you have two in college, it's hard for you.
Two in college. So yeah, we're driving them back this week.
I know. And you guys are always so, you want them to do so well and do well in college, and I'm always like, they're smart kids. They'll do fine.
I've told Jeannie to just lower her expectations. Like she did with me.
Well, perfect. But you're always like, you want them to have to make friends and have the right notebook and do all that. And I'm like, your kids are smart, and they're fun kids. They'll do fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I'm so much less worried than you, but that's what makes you good parents. So for those people in the audience who have not gotten Select Blinds, I need to tell them that Labor Day is really their last 3-day weekend of the summer to knock out the nagging home improvement projects that they have on their list. Don't let your deteriorating blinds spend another second in your home. Select Blinds is helping you celebrate Labor Day with up to 30% off blinds. Is there a better way to celebrate Labor Day? I don't think so. Also, shades, shutters, blinds, everything. With an easy-to-use website and a customer service team that will walk you through every step, SelectBlinds.com is your one-stop shop for blinds. During their Labor Day sale, SelectBlinds.com is discounting everything up to 35% off. That's what we love here at Who Knew. Discounts. So you can afford to cover all of your windows and doors, no matter what you have. Not big on projects? It's not a problem. SelectBlinds.com walks you through how to measure, choose, and install your new window coverings. If you can hang a picture, you can hang blinds. Can you hang a picture, Bruce? I think you can.
I can indeed.
SelectBlinds.com is the simple and easy way to upgrade your old blinds. Save up to 35% on everything during the SelectBlinds.com Labor Day sale. Be sure to mention podcast at checkout. That's SelectBlinds.com. SelectBlinds.com. So, I have to tell you, I did something really stupid recently.
Oh, no.
But I think a lot of people have done something similarly stupid. So I've told you I have this Coca-Cola addiction, and when I'm in the afternoon and I'm doing my work, editing my Who Knew tips and so forth, I like to have a big ice cold glass of soda, even though it's not good for me, and I dumped it all over my computer keyboard.
Oh, no.
So Monday, I spent the day running around buying a new computer keyboard, and I spent $75. It was half a day of work, as you can imagine. I was just thrilled, and I couldn't help but think, it was like half working, half not. And when I spilled the Coke on it, I just kind of, I'll just put, and I thought, I should know better than this. What should I have done?
You are
Tell
an amateur.
everyone what I should have done.
Number one was the rum and the Coke. Really,
there was no rum in the Coke.
Oh,
there is no rum in the Coke.
So here's what you want to do if you spill soda or something on your keyboard. You have to work really, really fast, all right? So what you want to do is blot any liquid with towels. And then you want to take the keyboard and you want to put it in a bag of rice, okay? I kid you not. And that will absorb...
Like a cell phone.
Yeah,
when
like
you get your cell
Let's do
phone wet,
yeah,
it's the same thing.
Exactly right. That's what you want to do. And try to pop the keys off if you can beforehand. I know it's a pain in the neck, but then you'll just have to do your like Roy G. Biv, get it back. QWERTY, excuse me, not Roy G. Biv, QWERTY.
Yeah.
And leave it in the rice for about 12 hours, and it should be fine. And if it's not, you can go to our Who Knew Tips cleaning your computer.
Yeah, just Google Who Knew Tips cleaning your computer because I knew you guys
just do that. There's a zillion other tips there. But that's what you want to do.
I'm always, plunging the keyboard into a bag of rice seems like oh no, I'm going to waste the rice. But rice is cheap. Keyboard costs $75. Yeah. I should have just shoved that thing in the rice.
And here's today's disgusting fun fact. Then you can use the rice later if you want.
What?
Yeah, I won't judge. I
don't know about that, but that's good to know. So you're taking your middle son, Terrence, to college for the first time. You have 3 sons. The oldest one is already in college, and the middle one is going to college for the first time.
Yep, and the third one hasn't been ruined yet. But
what grade is he going to be in?
He's going to be in 8th grade.
So we're going to talk about some other school tips if your kid is just in high school, whatever, elementary school. But now that you're going to be taking this road trip to North Carolina, where is he going again?
He's going to Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. That's great. And so you're gonna drive them there. What tips do you have for people who are going on long road trips, whether it's to take their kid to college or otherwise?
Well, let's think. The first is when you buy gas. So here's the thing. Gas is cheaper on Mondays or Tuesdays, okay? Because people normally go away for weekends, so they fuel up on Thursday or Friday. So what happens is the gas stations will raise the prices by like Wednesday afternoon. So if you fill your tank on a Monday or a Tuesday,
that's when
you're
it's
in better
cheapest.
shape. Also, Costco. Whether you're a member or not, they have gas stations. They can't not serve you.
Oh.
So you can go there too.
Oh.
If you don't mind waiting in line.
That's good to know.
Gas. Yeah, that's good stuff. But always Monday or Tuesday.
Do you have any other tips for the journey there?
Why, yes, I do, Jen. I got plenty of tips.
Something told me you would. You can't blame me for a segue.
So if you're going overnight, like on a more than one day, and you're going to stay in a hotel, on the road. So don't take your big stupid suitcase, which is like packed in the minivan, in with you. Just do a little extra like overnight bag, like just what you're going to sleep in and what you want to wear in the next day. And then you bring one bag in, and then it makes it...
One bag for everyone.
Yeah, one bag for everyone. Makes it way less stressful. Just bring the one bag in, change, do your thing, go to sleep, brush your teeth, get ready in the morning, and off you go.
Nice.
As opposed to unpacking the car and all that.
I like that.
And then there's one thing also I want to talk about. Apps, right?
Yeah.
So everyone uses Google Maps or whatever, but there's an app called Waze, which you may be familiar with.
Waze, like W-A-Z-E?
W-A-Z-E. And what that does is it actually gives you real-time traffic and whether there's, accidents and whatever. And it really works.
I like that because sometimes when I'm traveling by car, over several days and I'm trying to plan my route for the day, the traffic on Google Maps and stuff only really shows you what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
So I like, something that tells you what the road work is going to be.
Well, and what it does, too, is it changes sort of in real time, too.
Yeah.
So if you're on the road and all of a sudden there's something bad, they're going to say, all right, you're screwed here. So make a right. You're like, okay.
Exactly.
And just blindly follow it. That's what I would do.
So our most popular post on Facebook this week was dorm hacks, very appropriately. Dorms on your mind, you and Jeannie.
Yep.
And if people are interested, they can Google Who Knew Tips dorm hacks. But what were some of your favorites that you had here?
Oh, God, there's so many. I would say, and we did this with Jack when he went away 2 years ago. You get to the dorm room, and they're all like kind of vaguely disgusting. And so there's stickers on the walls and stuff.
Right,
and so the easiest way to get rid of any of those stickers before like you put your own stickers on is to use a hairdryer and just loosen it and then just use a credit card and then just peel it up. And if it doesn't
the old Who Knew sticker removal method, hair dryers.
Right,
the
hair
heat
dryers.
Actually heats up the adhesive, and so the adhesive comes off more easily.
Indeed,
I believe that's how that works.
You wise guy. But what do you do if it still doesn't come up and you've been playing around?
I don't know, Bruce. I assume you're here to tell me.
What you want to use is either olive oil, which you might not have in a dorm room, or furniture polish, which I'll bet is sitting in like the utility room.
Jeannie probably brings some along when you guys.
What are we, commoners? Of course we travel with our own furniture polish. And you put a little furniture polish or olive oil, and that'll lift everything up.
Great.
Completely. So that's great.
What else you got?
So your dorm refrigerator, which is like that tiny little box.
We weren't allowed to have one when I was in college, so we had to hide it under a large box. We had like a moving box.
Really?
And then we just put the box over the refrigerator. That's actually, I guess that is a dorm hack, but don't try that. I don't recommend lying to your RA kids.
You went to college in Guantanamo Bay or somewhere where you were not allowed to. Who is not allowed a dorm refrigerator?
We were in converted brownstones in Boston, very I think much, at Emerson College before they moved their campus over a little bit. So yeah, it was like old electrical wiring. They didn't want us to have fridges, so we just got a big box, and then we put the box over the fridge, and then the RA would never know.
So there's just a big box in your room.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they know. Maybe they knew. Maybe they knew.
That is fantastic.
But I mean, it was, that's what we call a loophole. Anyway, you have a small fridge. What should I have done with this fridge other than hide it?
Well, I assumed it was packed with beer, but you drink coffee when you go to college. You learn to drink coffee, and you're going to put milk in your coffee. What you don't want to do, particularly in a small refrigerator, is keep the milk on the door of the refrigerator.
Why?
Because it really changes, the temperature really varies there. And as you open it, it'll go bad way faster. So
I feel like those little fridges aren't as cold as a regular fridge.
They're not. They're generally bad. So what you want to do is keep the milk there. Just put all your beer, your cans of PBR on the
What
door.
do you do if you are like me and you're not allowed? You weren't allowed to have a fridge. You're not allowed to have a fridge, and you're not willing to use the box method. If you need to chill something tells me you have a who knew tip, perhaps that we talked about about cooling beverages quickly.
Yes. So what you want to do is if you have a cooler,
you would transfer.
I'm out. Why'd you leave, son? Well, there was no refrigerator. I had no way to keep beer cold.
No, Bruce, you know that it's illegal to drink before 21, and we would never recommend to our audience that you do anything
Absolutely.
like that.
Kids don't try this at home.
But let's say you have a beverage that's not beer, and you don't have a fridge, and you're in college, and you want to chill
get a cooler of some sort. What you want to do is you put your beverage in, you put some ice, you put water, you put salt, and then you do another layer like that. What happens is the salt will cool the water so quickly. And it'll be like, a lake that you go into and it's freezing and it's way below freezing. It's way below 32 degrees. That's because there's a little bit of salt in it. So if you do that, you'll keep all your drinks, which are not beer, really cold, really fast.
That's good to know. What other tips do you have for dormers? What problems do your kids have with dorms?
Well, my kids are generally disgusting, so they smell, their clothes smell, their feet smell.
That is one thing I don't miss about being young is the going into a dorm or apartment full of boys.
Yeah, no kidding. And when you go so Jack goes to Duke, which is also in humid North Carolina, and Terrence is going to Wake, and they're, it's humid and it's a little stinky there.
So what do you do to get rid of smells? By the way, our next podcast is all about smells. So if you're listening at home and you have a lot of smells, stay tuned. But how do you get rid of smells in dorm rooms?
I would bring fabric softener sheets.
Yes.
And I would put those in your gym bags and hampers, in the dresser drawers.
Fabric softener sheets are everything.
They are everything. They really are everything.
And you can use them for laundry.
And you can use them for laundry. Although you don't have to. You can just put them in your dresser drawers.
One thing that always gives me nightmares about college is the communal shower situation and the shower caddy. So one tip that we had in your dorm room hacks was keeping mold off your shower caddy. And this is an old mold and mildew who knew tip, which is, and maybe we've talked about this before on the podcast, but you basically make a shower spray that keeps mildew off. And instead of buying it at stores, you do what? Like a quarter cup of vinegar in a spray bottle?
And some water. And you just use it every time you're in the shower. Right?
Right.
And it's so easy.
Leave the shower, spray it on your shower caddy, it won't get moldy.
Out you go. Yeah. And if it is moldy, what you want to do is half hydrogen peroxide, half Dawn detergent.
Yes, the Who Knew Miracle Spray.
A miracle. It really is.
Yeah.
And it will get rid of any sort of mildew right away. The other thing is in the showers, and this is for you, Terrence, who's going away next week, you got to wear those little flip-flops, because it can be there's some gamey stuff going on there.
Wear the flip-flops.
Yeah, wear the flip-flops, absolutely.
Yeah. And I have another one, too. This was me in college. Okay. This is me now, too. I'll admit it. But if you haven't washed your hair in a couple days, whether you're home late at night doing your homework or perhaps, I don't know, going through the Who Knew archives to compile a gajillion uses of vinegar late at night, and you haven't washed your hair, you can use cornstarch. And it's basically like a dry shampoo, if you've ever heard of dry shampoo.
I have indeed.
Cornstarch it actually works better than dry shampoo, I think, because it's so absorbent.
So what do you do? Just like float?
It's a little, it's a little messy. You should do it over a sink or over something. But you basically flip your hair over, start at your part if you have a part, and just shake a little bit of cornstarch in, shake it through your hair, and it absorbs all of the oil. And you can use like baby powder or salt or something if you don't have cornstarch, baking soda, anything absorbent.
And then you are good to go.
Then you're good to go. Then you can go to class, and no one will know that you just shook cornstarch through your hair because you were studying all night. So what about those parents of younger kids, like your youngest who is still in grade school or middle school, elementary? Is this his first year in middle school?
No, his school goes from 6 to 8.
So he's already cool. He's already down. Oh, he's 8th grade now. He's the top of the class.
He is, yeah.
He's baller.
It's Lord of the Flies, and absolutely, he's at the top.
Oh, no. Well, he'll probably be too cool for these tips, but I know you guys have some good school tips because of your tip you wrote recently on back to school DIY. So what tips do you have? First of all, I feel like my friends who have kids, the big thing is school lunch. Once your kids are back in school, it's like you are responsible for putting some sort of lunch into a box. Somehow
really
those kids will still eat. I don't even understand how it's possible. But what are your tips for that?
Couple of things. What you want to do is to keep any smells out of the...
smells.
Smells again.
Yes.
Smells again. Just take a piece of white bread.
Your whole life is smells.
My whole
of those
life,
boys.
It really is. It really is. Let's talk about smells. White bread with a little vinegar on it, and you keep it in the lunchbox, and that'll absorb all the smells. A couple of other tips when you're
just like overnight or something though, not like
just
forever.
Overnight. Yeah, not forever, just overnight.
Yeah.
And then what you want to do is if you're making them sandwiches, you should just take all those little packets of ketchup or mayonnaise or mustard that you have from fast food, and don't dress the sandwich. Just leave what your kid wants and let them do it. Because
that's the secret to getting them to actually eat the sandwich.
That is the secret, yeah. If you want them to eat fruits and vegetables, which we all want to do, a great tip.
You guys have a great apple. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Apple tip?
Look at us sharing a mind again. Who's using it right now?
What's your apple tip? Tell everyone.
You want to cut your apple, just slice it, but keep it together, and then hold it with a rubber band. Believe it or not, just and that way
so it doesn't get brown.
Doesn't get brown.
Yeah.
And so then what Aiden will do, or your kid too, is just take the rubber band off, and then it's already sliced.
I think it's kind of cool too. I think kids like open their lunchbox and they have this cut apple with a rubber band around it, and it's like
hot stuff.
Yeah, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and
maybe kids aren't as impressed as
no. I mean, you can cut them and put them in like a bag with a little bit of lemon, but this is totally better.
So, what about saving a little bit of money on school supplies? That's where the back to school thing really comes in. You're like, it's all over TV.
You're really
back to school,
back to school, aren't you? Yeah, it's a thing.
It's just, I mean, I guess for me, like since I don't have kids, back to school really means like I'm gonna be able to find a seat on the subway now during the day. You know, there's not as many kids, and I feel like my friends that have kids, it's just this the back. It's like don't call your friend, don't text, like don't even think you're going to get a response from your friend when it's back to school time because it's intense. It's like a whole schedule change. It's this, you kind of have to talk your kids back into going to school.
Well,
I mean,
what you do is
and then there's the school supplies.
Well, and then you
you
prepare everything and you act like you're all buttoned up, and then like 2 weeks into it, you're like a disaster. You normally are, but for those first 2 weeks, you are like on point.
Horrible.
You don't want to spend too much on back to school, and you're right. Everyone is marketed to, so you got to do your best to sort of save where you can. So one of the things, when Aiden's a little bit older now, but when they were younger, they always wanted these backpacks with like emblems and whatever on them. And the thing is, you can buy the plain ones and the plain notebooks and the plain folders, and you get stickers and just emblaze them, let them do it themselves.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. Just get, if they want Dora the Explorer, you get Dora the Explorer stickers. You buy the plain notebook, you let them do it themselves.
Oh, you know what else with backpacks? So one of my kids, who will remain nameless, Terrence, he had a Star Wars backpack that he worshipped. Yeah. And they were done, like it ripped. Yeah. And you couldn't buy them anymore because they had moved on to another character. So what you use is like a big needle and dental floss. So if it rips, you can just sew it up like that. And
Jeannie is so clever.
She's so good.
I mean, we could pretend like you went
No,
that
I'm
backpack,
just a figurehead.
But we all know who really sewed that backpack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aw, that's good.
But go to the Army Navy store. They're way cheaper there.
Oh,
and
that's
then
a good
put
idea.
on whatever emblems you want or whatever. Or once your kids get a little older, just convince them that they don't need those.
Well, I think those Army Navy backpacks are kind of cool too.
They're great and they're cheap as change. So that's what I would do. Absolutely.
So those are your. I don't know, maybe our. I did a few.
No, you've got issues with back to school.
Tips.
These don't count as yours. You can have smells, but you cannot have back to school.
You know what? I'll take it. When I have kids, if I have kids, then I'll worry about back to school. Until then,
All right, they're all mine.
I'll just get my seat on the subway and put my headphones in.
Look at you.
Like a single person. All right, so it's time for everyone's favorite portion of the Who Knew podcast. You love it. I love it. Jeannie sits at home laughing at us. She loves it. It's the life hack lightning round. So what we do is we get a common household object. Jeannie writes it down, puts it in an envelope. You bring it here with you.
I dutifully bring my envelope
to Quick and Dirty
here.
Tips headquarters. What has she written down for us today? And then we try to come up with as many hacks as we can involving that object.
Oh, boy.
So
today is... This could go on for a while. Today is vinegar.
Oh, okay. See?
Pack
now, I think...
lunch.
I'll admit something here. I think Jeannie likes to stack the deck towards me. You've noticed that I usually win these, and that's because she knows that I have been going through the Who Knew archives, and we have this article on Quick and Dirty Tips now that everyone other than us two should Google a gajillion uses for vinegar. It's literally called a gajillion uses for vinegar.
It's funny, I counted them and there were a gajillion. Yeah, which was interesting. To land on a gajillion
I know
hard.
that you and Jeannie, I know that you painstakingly wrote down, these uses from vinegar from your grandparents and Jeannie's everything. But I am the one who recently have gone through your archives and put them all on the internet. So we'll see who has a better memory.
Vinegar is like our lifeblood. It really is.
I would say out of all of the Who Knew household items that we love, vinegar is number one.
I would think
because it does everything. It literally does a gajillion things.
It does everything.
So who's going to go first?
You go first.
Okay, vinegar. First of all, vinegar is great for cleaning. And I think maybe we've said this before on the podcast, but if you mix it half and half with water, just half vinegar, half water, you can use it to clean counters and windows and all sorts of stuff around your house. It's great. I use it for everything.
Great. That's a great tip. I would say I use it to clean salads and vegetables. Okay, because what happens is, so we're so organic and natural now because we're so fancy. So when you buy lettuce or something, you want to put it in water, cold water to clean it. You want to put like a little, just a quarter cup, not even, of vinegar and let it sit for a little while and all the bugs will run out. And you'll be amazed how much is in there. But vinegar is a great way to clean. I
have another bug use of vinegar. If you're having a picnic, I think we've done this one on the podcast. You spray vinegar on the table and ants can't smell through the vinegar. So they can't smell your food and they won't come after your food.
That is true.
Keeps ants away.
That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know how we know ants can't smell, but we do know that ants can't smell.
I interviewed some, yeah.
Have you
I did
extensive
ant interviews,
okay.
yeah. They don't like the cinnamon either.
You could interview my Aunt Marge. She's 93. She's lost her sense of smell. So you could do that if you want.
Oh my God. The ant double entendre. On point. You're just trying to take up time.
Because I know I'm going to lose. I'm going to get schooled on vinegar here. If you ever boiled cauliflower, two things. One, it stinks a little bit.
You eat so much cauliflower at your house.
Healthy. I'm so
You're
good.
always about the cauliflower.
I'm trying to raise the bar for everyone. I really am.
I heard that it's the it vegetable these days. Anyway,
it is. Cauliflower rice is like the it thing now.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is, if you want to keep it really white after you boil it, and you don't want it to smell, you want to put a little bit of vinegar and some lemon juice while you're cooking it.
Okay.
That'll keep it white and less stinky. So that's good stuff.
I have a health use for vinegar.
Oh, okay.
It actually helps nosebleeds. If you have
totally true.
If you have a nosebleed, you can put vinegar on cotton balls and stuff them up your nose, and it actually helps cauterize the wound in your nose.
Oh, that's a good word, cauterize. That's the first time I've heard the word cauterize today.
Recently.
So that's good stuff. Yeah.
What else you got?
If you are like making scalloped potatoes or some sort of potatoes that you want to peel, particularly if you're going to do them ahead of time because they're a pain to make when you have people coming over, cut them, peel them, put them in water with vinegar, and they will stay white. It's kind of like a riff off my cauliflower thing. I'm thinking about cauliflower.
You're right in the kitchen right now.
White vegetables. Yeah.
I have one for the kitchen that's not quite food related, but if you have a dishwasher that has one of those spouts for drying agent, yes, those spouts in your dishwasher that say drying agent, and usually you go to the store and buy Jet Dry or one of those things. Vinegar literally does the same stuff. It helps keep spots off your glasses. So you just pour, if you have a spout like that in your dishwasher, just pour vinegar in it, white vinegar at the end.
You know, when I go shopping and I walk by the Jet Dry, and knowing I don't have to buy
it hurts, right?
It makes me
scorns
happy
you a little bit
to think like, look at that. I'm not buying you because I've got a gigantic jug of vinegar that I'm going to use.
You're like the Lifetime movie, Betty Broderick, a woman scorned, except you're Bruce Lubin, and you're scorned by Jet Dry.
Yeah, how was she scorned exactly? What happened? Her husband left her or something? It had nothing to do with vinegar. Did it have anything
It was
to
the
do with
guy
vinegar?
from Seventh Heaven, and this is a family show, so we can't talk about
him.
him.
From Family Ties. Oh no, she was from Family Ties.
Yes, he was from Seventh Heaven.
Right. Okay.
Is it my turn for vinegar uses? Or
no,
is it
I want to
yours?
go. I want to go.
What do you have?
Speaking of being scorned or stung, If you get a sting, a bug bite. How about that? That was
a good transition. That was a good transition.
You want to put a little vinegar on that. Mosquito bites.
First of all, duh. Second of all, vinegar is also really good for sunburn. If you have sunburn, you can just put it.
True.
And I recommend that apple cider vinegar because white vinegar is kind of smelly.
Wait. Are we now talking apple cider vinegar?
We're talking all vinegars.
We're talking apple cider vinegar. That's a whole nother animal. Now we can go for hours.
Oh, what do you have on apple cider vinegar?
Lord. Pack a lunch. I will tell you something. Number one tip for apple cider vinegar: fruit flies.
Oh,
right. So you've got them. It's summer or fall, and you got a fruit plate out there or whatever, a fruit basket. You want to take some apple cider vinegar in water in a bowl. Mm-hmm. You want to put a little detergent in it and cover it with like some sort of. I like Saran wrap, and then just put a hole in it or two. And what happens is the fruit flies love the apple cider vinegar. They will dive in it.
Yeah.
And the detergent traps them in there. So they just do a slow sort of dance of death, which is unpleasant to watch.
And then you come out in the morning.
No,
I find it very satisfying. I don't find it unpleasant. You come out in the morning and there's a bowl of apple cider vinegar and dead fruit flies. That's a sweet morning.
What's more satisfying than that?
If there's anything, I don't know what
coffee,
it is.
Dead fruit flies, yeah.
Apple cider vinegar is also really good as a toner. Like if you use a toner for your face in between washing and moisturizing, instead of buying an actual toner, you can just use apple cider vinegar. Just put it on a cotton ball, dab it on your face, and it tightens your pores because it's an astringent.
Mm-hmm. You know what else it works on? I'm 300 years old, so I can tell you this. If you have corns, you want to use like a Band-Aid with apple cider vinegar.
Ooh, that's a good one. We could literally play the vinegar game.
You know what? I think I'm going to declare you the winner.
No. I'm gonna let's do like rapid fire. I'll do two more, you do two more, and then maybe we just leave it there because people have things to do. They can't listen to us talk about vinegar uses all day long.
All right, go.
I would say my favorite last two. One, you can put it in flours. So it's basically a good flour food. You need sugar too. Does that count if you need another ingredient? Anyway, vinegar and sugar. Put it in flours, and it makes a good flour food.
Yep.
Okay. Last use for vinegar. I'm gonna say this is one that people need to know. If you have a pet, let's say a puppy or a small child.
I have a puppy.
You do. So perhaps this puppy has peed somewhere where you would not like him to pee. Vinegar is the number one thing for neutralizing pee, which I know from Who Knew Tips. Thankfully, I know that from Who Knew Tips and not from life. But I have had a cat pee somewhere before, and even if the smell is gone for us, the pets can still smell it. So if you have a place in your house where your dog or your cat, hopefully not your toddler, keeps peeing, what you do after you clean it is you want to basically douse the area in vinegar, and vinegar counteracts the pee smell. Those are my last two best vinegar tips. What are two of your last favorites? I mean, we all have if you have a pee problem in your house, you need a solution for it.
I think so too. Well, let me give you one of Jeannie's favorites because this is really fantastic, and this is in honor of Jeannie Bosselina Lubin. Mm-hmm. Before she gets her nails done, she puts them in vinegar.
Really?
For about
that Jeannie
a minute.
Is so clever.
And then what happens is then the base coat, it clings better, and it strengthens your nails as well. So how about that?
I did not know that one.
You know what? You got to stay.
I'm sure it was in the list that I compiled, but I don't remember it. That's a good one. I mean, when you have a gajillion uses for vinegar, so slip through your brain. One more, and then we'll call it a tie.
Okay,
our first life hack lightning round.
This is sort of disgusting, but you know what? We've done disgusting things before. We can keep going.
I mean, I just talked about pee, so.
Yeah, you did. How about cold sores?
Cold sores. Pee's grosser than cold sores.
What you want to do is just dab a little vinegar, just regular white vinegar on a cold sore. It'll really dry it up really fast.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
It's good for pimples too, actually.
And for pimples too.
That's
that counts as another tip.
I just won.
You just won. You did win. You did win. I know you'd kill me on this, so I'll
If you want to read literally a gajillion more uses of vinegar, everyone go Google gajillion uses for vinegar. Who Knew Tips, and you'll find our post that I lovingly compiled from literally years of Bruce and Jeannie's vinegar-related efforts. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, thanks to Quick and Dirty Tips for producing this podcast and making it all possible. Bruce and Jeannie are always posting every day at quickanddirtytips.com/who knew. If you're wondering where Jeannie is right now, she's probably being more productive than us, writing tips. And you can find all the tips from this podcast and much more right there at quickanddirtytips.com/who knew. And while you're online, write us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. We're a new podcast, so it really helps us to find an audience and make sure that we can keep this coming. So thanks everyone who's listened so far, and make sure your friends listen too. And of course, you can always find us by searching Who Knew Tips on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google, everything in the world. Tune in next time when we talk about funky smells.
Yes.
Yeah, you know the ones. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.